Okay, we continue from the previous video. So here, so there we have written that G nu Z is equal to somehow n is equal to 1 to n is equal to 1 to infinity, Z raised to n raised to nu, valid for smaller values of Z or at high temperature. So what was the regime in which we are considering this whole picture? Our initial discussion from where we reached up to this point was about the ideal gases, right? So what is the ideal gas? Ideal gas means that it is considered that the interaction between the particles are considered to be negligible or can be considered to be zero. So that is ideal gas. And we have another set of, another regime now coming up, which is about the high temperature. So in high temperature, what happens is that these particles will start interacting with each other. Why? Because one way of seeing it more trivially is that this particle will start moving violently. So then they will start hitting against each other and create a pressure or the energy. And each of the hitting means it is an interaction between the particles, right? Each of the particle in the system is feeling the presence of some other particle in that volume. So that's an interaction. So as the system moves from a lower temperature to higher temperature, naturally the system can be assumed to be moving away from the ideal nature of the gas. So in order to account for such a variation in temperature in connection to the interaction, one of the way in which we can deal with them is based on the virial expansion. Virial expansion is much more a wider canvas in which you can make discussions on various concepts within the gases or the solids. But here in this context, this is what we can perceive. Okay, so from the ideal gas to the classical gas or the regime in which the gases gets interacting with each other, we can always express this G nu Z in terms of the virial expansion. Especially this function is giving an indication to that kind of an interaction, the virial expansion expression. So one of the beauty of the virial expansion is that basically with the virial expansion one can calculate the kinetic energy of a complex system of particles. Basically, complex system of particles means there's a lot of particles inside the gas. It gets really complicated because of its nature of interaction between them. But we can calculate the kinetic energy of such a complex system of particles without having to calculate the interaction between the individual particles. I don't have to tell that A interacts with B interacts with C, A interacts with C, what happens? So I don't have to calculate each of them separately. Instead, I can always put up a general expression for that, and virial expansion is basically facilitating such a computation. So that is the beauty of that, which is very important or useful in terms of the computational calculation of the thermodynamics of such a ideal gas system when it is moving from the ideal nature to a real gas system based on its temperature variation. So now this G nu Z, equation 16 over here, can be expressed in terms of a virial expansion as G nu Z is equal to sum over L is equal to 1 to infinity AL n lambda cube raised to L. Okay, so this is the expression. Here, AL is known as the virial coefficient. Virial coefficient, and n is actually what? We have the n lambda cube is equal to g of 3 by 2. The same n there, but there's a slight change in the concept which you have to always remember. N is, the n over here means it is number of particles per unit volume. So this n which comes in the virial expansion is also the same thing. Ultimately it is the same thing, but when you are stating something like that, to make the such an expansion more general, n is actually expressed in terms of some volume. So what should I put it? This is small v. Some volume. N is, let me put, instead of what, this is not new, this is small v. So n can be written as 1 by v, where v is the volume per particle of the system. Volume per particle of the system. So the volume per particle of the system means that it is that volume which thus on an average each particle in such a system can have freely without any interaction with other particle. As you know, the V is going to be a variable now, because as the temperature gets higher, the particles will move faster and faster, and they will start interacting more frequently. So, but this is a theoretical proposition, and in theoretical propositions, this kind of a concept is more easier to work with. So, this is what? So, n is here, the n is actually a inverse of the of some volume, which is we call as the volume per particle. Okay. But ultimately, if you see the n by v and the n by v is equal to n, and this n are ultimately the same. But here, when we state the virial theorem, it is originally expressed with such a relation. N is equal to 1 by v, where v is the volume per particle. For theoretical tools, we need more generalized concepts, and this is one of those concepts which the theoreticians use for their computational flexibilities. Okay, so but that's a parameter which changes with based on the conditions. And here AL is the virial coefficient. Here one more thing I forgot to tell you. This AL can be identified as the order of interactions. Which means that what? L is equal to 2, for example, represents a two-body interaction. L is equal to 3 means that represents a three-body interaction. Right? So when we are approximating or trying to simulate something, so first of all we will consider that the particles which are not interacting with anything. Then we will consider the system where the only two particles consider. Then we will consider take into consideration those cases which three particles interact, and 4 and 5 and 6 and all those things. The highest probability will be that situation in which it does not interact with anything. And the second highest will be when two particles will be interacting. So as we go along this series, the magnitude of those values will go on reducing. So similarly, the virial coefficient also the same thing happens. As we go along with the A1, A2, A3, A4, the order of the values will keep on reducing. So that's one thing one has to always consider. So that is L is the order of interaction. So let's what we will do is that we will try to express our expression for the P by Kt in terms of the virial coefficient. Always remember that means we are working in the high temperature regime. So therefore, this should be, let me put this as 17. Okay. Play 17 into 11, which is our P by Kt equation. So therefore, I can write P by Kt. Let me put the N by V here is equal to, I just multiply by V by N, or whatever you would like it, called V by N lambda cube G 3 by 2 Z. Right? My P by Kt expression was, sorry, G 5 by 2 Z, right? Was 1 by lambda cube G 5 by 2 Z. I just multiplied by V by N. So that I can introduce the term N over here. So therefore I can write 1 by N lambda cube G 5 by 2 Z. Now I can express this G in terms of my virial coefficients. 1 by N lambda cube sum over L is equal to 1 to infinity AL L lambda cube raised to L is equal to sum over L is equal to 1 to infinity AL. I have the N lambda cube here and in the numerator also. Therefore, I can write AL into N lambda cube raised to L minus 1. This again I can write it as AL. N I will express in terms of the corresponding volume, which I told you earlier, which is the volume per particle. Therefore, I can write it as N, instead of N, I use the word V, small v, lambda cube by V raised to L minus 1. Okay. 19. Okay. Here we are always supplied with the ready-made values of A1, or we take it from the library for our computational purpose. A1 is equal to 1, A2 is equal to minus 1 by 4 root 2 is equal to minus 0.17671. A3 is equal to there is somewhere the minus 2 by 9 root 3 minus 1 by 8, which comes to be minus 0.003, and A4 is equal to minus 0.00011. So the takeaway is that you have to by heart this A1, A2, A3, A4 values. As we can see there, I already told you, as it goes along the series, the values of this virial coefficients magnitude will keep on reducing. And A2 represents, A1 means there's only one single particle, A2 means two body interaction, A3 means three body interaction, A4 means four body interaction, and so on and so forth. So therefore, now since I have the expression for my P by Kt, I can substitute that into my expression for Cv. What is Cv? How do you express CV? CV is equal to minus the dou u by dou t, right? CV is equal to dou u by dou t, or CV by nk. I can write it as 1 by nk dou u by dou t is equal to the u is equal to 3 by 2 PV, right? Sorry, the u is equal to 3 by 2 PV, which means that I can write it as 3 by 2 into dou by dou t of PV by nk. Now you know why I put the nk initially. Otherwise, CV is equal to dou u by dou t, dominion of. Right? And this I can write, I use the expression which we already found out here, which is the PV by nkt is equal to equation 19, AL into lambda cube. So that we will substitute. Only thing is that we have a t in the left hand side. We have to account for that t in here in this expression. So therefore I can write 3 by 2 sum over L is equal to 1 to infinity AL into dou by dou t of, we have that t additional over there, t into lambda cube by v, small v, raised to L minus 1. So that is the expression for the specific heat, and which I can always substitute the values for AL values. But if I do this differentiation, I can do this as 3 by 2 sum over L is equal to 1 to infinity AL into lambda cube by V raised to L into 1 plus T into 3 L minus 1 divided by lambda into d lambda by dt so the d lambda by dt is equal to minus lambda by 2t. So which you, if you are trying to do it by yourself, you can find out that you have to make such a substitution. D lambda is equal to minus lambda by 2t. So I can finally I can write it as 3 by 2 L is equal to 1 to infinity AL lambda cube by V raised to L minus 1 5 minus 3L by 2. I can reduce or simplify this expression further. Why? Because I know the expression for the AL, right? A1, A2, A3, A4 I know. And that means the correspondingly L also can be calculated. L is equal to 1, L is equal to 2, L is equal to 3, 4, etc. So which means that will make this this function also can be combined with the AL together and reach to some other constant values, right? So therefore finally I can write it as CV by NK is equal to 3 by 2 1 plus 0.0884 lambda cube by V plus 0.0066 lambda cube by V squared plus 0.0004 lambda cube by V cube plus etc. So this can be considered as my final expression for the CV by NK at some higher temperature. So we will continue with the rest of the portions needed for plotting the graph of CV variation with temperature in the case of Bose-Einstein gas. So that's for the future videos. Now this is the expression which we have to take forth.